Hello. In this video, I wanted to make a quick comparison. So dealing with the Strathmore paper roll definitely does have its benefits. And if I was going to say, if I could pull it up, the main benefit that you get is basically having larger cuts of paper. So it can help for drawing larger things if you want to. I do try to draw large, even though I clearly need a lot of work. Just another quick tip that's a bit on a tangent. Sometimes I realize that if I'm drawing with softer leads, I kind of have a bit more difficult control doing it. But if I'm using like an HB, that's kind of like what I'm used to. But yeah, whenever I deviate from HB and use either B or H lead, I'm always a bit off than I feel like what I would normally be. But yeah, the Strathmore paper roll definitely has its benefits if you want to do larger drawings, considering it's around 42 inches in height, and I forget how many yards it is, but basically they also sell the same paper, which is the Series 300 Bristol Smooth Surface. Always recommend the smooth surface to eliminate basically I would say eliminating problems that you may have when you're drawing, because other paper with a more grittier surface can make it difficult to draw, and sometimes it may kind of like a lot of those papers are made for you using more solid leads. I tend to use thinner leads because I'm always trying to improve my line quality, but other times I would say that paper is probably made for like the thicker wooden pencil lead type things. And yeah, I really like this. It's also acid free, so you don't have to worry about it deteriorating in the future if that's what you want. But you know, the downside to that is it's a little bit more expensive. So this is a pad. It's 9x12, smooth surface. Each page is like this. It can rip out. You can work on the front and back. It says it has 20 sheets. I feel like it has a lot more than that. For some reason, I don't know why I do. Well, I will say this paper is thicker, so that's kind of another little bit of a trick, but it's really good paper. I really like this. So I guess what I'll also say is dealing with the paper roll. Dealing with the paper roll is incredibly challenging because when I do cut it, I need a large surface area. The paper roll's in here, by the way. The paper roll requires a large surface area for me to do the cuts. I just because I had problems with it rolling, I also got this piece of wood, which is 42 inches. I had a friend cut it for me. And I also got a roller that is a little over 42 inches just to help me hold stuff down. But I will say the whole process of it is exhausting. I will say when I do cut paper, I'll spend legitimately half hour, 45 minutes cutting a bunch of sheets. I do listen to like a podcast or something like that when I'm doing it. So like I don't know, just to kind of pass the time when it comes to cutting the paper. But yeah, it takes a long time to do it. But yeah, the benefit is you do get larger paper. I want to say that I think the roll was around maybe like $56, but I'm going to be honest with you, you probably get a heck of a lot more paper, and you can cut it to the size that you want to. But for the majority of you who maybe just want to focus on drawing and not having to go through having to have an area to lay out a big paper roll, have a way to weigh it down when you try to measure dimensions to cut it, focus on cutting it, and all of that. Oh, the other downside to the paper roll, I will say, is that you have to flatten the paper, and I have a secret for that. Usually what I do is I put it under a rug, and I leave it there for a long time. That's what I do with a lot of my paper. So yeah, you either need that or you could like lay it on boxes. This is just under the carpet in my room, and I just leave it there. It's flat enough, and but yeah, it does take some time for it to get flat because you can't draw with it immediately because it was curled for so long in the roll that you just can't simply use it without it curling. I mean, sometimes you could like lay it under other paper to do that. I will say, and I may have said this before, always draw on a couple layers of paper to not let the nature of the board that you're drawing under affect your line quality. That can happen. That was a big issue that I had. I remember when I was doing the draw box exercises, this was a kind of a big issue I had. I didn't understand why I was kind of struggling more than I had to. I was not drawing on a thick stack of paper. Paper that I was using was also not very smooth. So it was all of these contributing factors that made learning to draw for me really, really difficult. And I just didn't know. And it was really, it was really annoying. But yeah, I think the majority of you are probably going to want to just get one of these, and maybe if you're really blowing through so much paper, or maybe you just want to try doing the paper roll thing for once, you definitely can. Do know that you do need a good area to work on, a flat area, preferably like a wooden floor of some sort. And also know you're probably going to blow through a good amount of time when you're trying to cut them. But like I said, you get the freedom of having like a massive piece of paper to compare to using something like this, which is also good. But like, with this, I guess you're paying more because you're paying for the labor they did to get it in this form, so you don't have to deal with a paper roll. And this is also flat right off the bat, and you could also just stick this in your backpack or whatever. So yeah, there are benefits and downsides to everything when it comes to this. But yeah, this is really good paper, I will say that. But yeah, if you are wondering how to like cut a roll, I made a couple other videos on my YouTube channel. Maybe I will put a link in the description to them, and I show you how to cut the Strathmore Bristol Smooth Surface Series 300 paper roll. I show you my method of madness to try to do it. I kind of have to use my whole body to do it. Originally, I used a rotary cutter. That didn't work, and I just ended up using scissors, and I put a bunch of markings on the page with a roller. I feel like I fight with it whenever I do it, but even though I do fight with it, I feel like at the end of the day, I do get a massive piece of paper, which I do like. I always like a large drawing surface area, and I think $56 for a massive amount of paper, it's a pretty good deal, I think. But the other thing I want to say is, some people may be saying, that's paper, why is it so expensive? Well, it's smooth, and it's also acid free. I guess you could say here it says also for finished artwork, so I guess it's more for professionals. Some people who do want to make final art would use this for pen and ink drawings and whatnot. And I guess for various things, various practice, and it's really smooth. So it's not your regular, it's not like any printer paper, although I have run into smooth printer paper before. But yeah, I hope this video helps give a little insight into what I feel. Maybe I'll have to revisit this again in the future. I know it sounds a bit funny, like, how many videos could I talk about paper? But I guess you could say, when you use something so much, you begin to learn more about it. You begin to have your preferences. Perhaps I will never fully like just this. Perhaps I'll like a combination of the both, because I like my drawing surface board. It's a bit of a weird size, but I like the board, the Masonite board, and I could just cut my paper to whatever size I need it to for that. I do like for it to cover the entire thing, but I'd probably take something like this more for like the road compared to that. I have taken that on the road, but the only downside to that is like it fits in my backpack really awkwardly. The board that I have does not, it won't fit in your normal backpack. I have a special one. It's not that special, but it's a Thole, and it kind of has like, it's like a 3-day hike camp bag, but I just use it for everyday use. And the benefit to that is it kind of has an extra, well, it lets you overstuff it. So like at the top, it allows me to accommodate the board, but then it's like, yeah, I like to use that one at home. I call it the drawing board. But yeah, this would probably be good for the go. Or you could get a smaller clipboard and cut your paper to whatever size you want it to. But yeah, I hope this video helps you. I do like to share anything that I learn, anything that I think is worthwhile that I could share with you and with everyone else. And, I think, like, blank paper, could be really good to just getting your ideas out, whether they're good or bad. But yeah, thank you for listening. If you have a question, please ask in the comments. If you like the video, please like it. And if you like my channel, please subscribe. Thank you very much for listening. Bye.